Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel today. I'm Kevin, and today we're back to our first word today. So our topic today is about bees. Again, yeah, we already talked about a bee's time in the past that was made by development of weapons during the First World War. But today, we're not going to talk about a time, we're just going to talk about Peaceful Day. Yeah, so our event today is talking about the Christmas. So, for some of you guys that don't know, in the First World War, for the first Christmas, the German soldiers and British soldiers decided to stop war on Christmas Day and they play with each other all along. So, what is the beginning of this event and why does the enemies that always on the opposite side with each other could stand along and play with each other in a soccer ball like that? So we must start about the, let's say, the winter of the First World War. So the first winter of the First World War, when the soldiers still in the trenches and is brutally cold. Soldiers sat through snowstorm, frost, and flash flood. But despite those difficulties, they still decided to open, or you could say, a celebrating Christmas Eve. So some men were determined to celebrate Christmas Day, even if it means that they will stopping the war to do it. So the people at home, on the other hand, don't want the soldiers at the front line think that they have forget them. So Princess Mary, the daughter of the British king, set up a Christmas fund for sailors and soldiers. And of course, the citizens the citizens support this fund so much that it have enough money to buy every soldier a special gift. And this become known as the Princess Mary box. And it was a brass box crammed with tobacco and chocolate. And also there's a lot of different things that happen and different items that the soldiers have more time to use in the Christmas. So the first thing we need to talk about cigarettes and user things that the soldiers usually use in their normal life. So the Kaiser sent his men pipes, cigarettes, and more festive presents. For example, tiny Christmas trees and decking a tree was an old, traditional for a lot of country, especially with British. And also German have this traditional too. But on the day before Christmas Day, the British soldiers saw a lot of light on on the opposite side of the no man's land, and they thought that is because the German soldiers trying to make a night attack on them. But after they have a check, they have a clear check, they just got they got to know that the German soldiers is celebrating a Christmas Eve, or you could say a Christmas party. And slowly more and more soldiers try to celebrate the Christmas together, and more out of curiosity than anything else, the men began to be out of the trenches. Soon soldiers on both sides decided to meet each other face to face without any weapons and eagerly shake each other's hand. This is a sign of a peaceful day where both sides don't want to have any fight and they don't want anybody to die in Christmas Day. And of course, this event was made a movie, was being made as a movie. And if you want to search about it, you could come on Google or you could come on Netflix. I believe that is there. And of course, the soldiers have shared stories and traded tobacco or button on their uniform together. They are using the time that they have to celebrate a fun and peaceful party between the allies and the enemies. And of course, there is some special people. There are some special people in the party, especially the barber. There's one soldier used to be a barber when before the war break out, and he decided to cut everybody's hair with the price of few cigarettes. And then after that, both side soldiers even made plans, teams, and sharing each other's memories that they played soccer together. The German on one side and the British on one side. Of course, they have a friendly match of soccer. But as the night fell, the men returned to the boats in the trenches, and in most sections nor the Western Front, the Christmas truce lasted little more than a few hours. It was a pause in a battle more than a fun and happy day, but still it was a chance for the soldiers to know their enemies' thought, their enemies' belief, and also their glimpse of the enemy, and to bury their dead comrades. And after that, the generals from both sides heard this thing, heard about the event, and they are furious. They're thinking that no, when we're making things like this, that means both sides getting to each other. It's making you guys not killing each other. And if you want to win, you have to win by the other's life. You cannot just play friendly. This thing is a hilarious action. And then after that, the generals banned those things. And after that, from the following years, the generals of both sides tried to make sure that no things like this event ever happen again. But of course, this thing is just a big event that go into a history. But despite that, I mean, on the side of it, there's a lot different places also stop war to celebrate Christmas Eve together. And sometimes there was made a rule that on some few special days they will not fight each other and not shooting each other, just say hi and meet each other like normal person. And somehow when they have the plans from the generals or the order from the generals to make the artillery attack, they will warning their enemies on those days, which is the special days. And of course, this thing just happened in a few days until the generals of both sides knows about this thing and ordered the soldiers to stop it. But after all, this is a very peaceful event from the whole First World War, and this made the, let's say, the atmospheres of the soldiers on both sides become more friendly sometimes, and also it make them forget about the stress and about the sadness of losing their partners and their allies. But after all, this thing make out a promise, an unwords promise, an unsaying promise that people still having their morals and still having the emotion even when they are fighting to kill each other. They still respect the boundaries of each other, and also they respect the thought, the belief, and the, let's say, the desire, or you could say the wanting, the belief of a peaceful event from the soldiers. Because after all, generals is people who believe in their own ways and want to win the other side, but soldiers is people who risk their life to do or to make that plans come true. And if they have something that, like some belief which is stronger than the general's order, so they would gladly to sacrifice or even trying to do things that nobody did to make that event happen. And in this event, we already know about the truce, which means that the stop fighting of the war between the battlefield. Some soldiers from both sides decided to raise their hand up, a sign of no fight, and they meet each other by the bravery instead, or you could say despite the dangerous of being shot by the enemies who still think that they are dangerous. Okay, so that's all of the topic I want to say with guys today. Thank you for listening, and this video is a bit too long, so I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.